Been wanting to do a video on S.O.G multi-tool that I've had for at least 15, close to 20 years now, and I decided to look into getting another one, primarily because I got a gift certificate at Lowe's and I could only use it there. Luckily enough for me, they had another S.O.G multi-tool that I'll bring in after I stop talking about this one a little bit. This one is, like I said, about 20 years old, and it has at that time some really unique features. One of the things that I liked about it so much that it had some fine needle nose pliers attached to it, and some other tools in it, and it was stainless steel. I think at that time S.O.G was pretty new to multi-tools. Leatherman was out there as well, but this one only had smaller features, or less features, than the new one has, and I'll get into that one. This one has a file. It has a small screwdriver, a Phillips, a large size straight screwdriver, and a serrated blade on this side. And on this side it has an auger, a medium size can opener, and a very, very sharp blade, straight blade here. And as you can see, I have been able to test it. I got a couple of ball spots on my hand here, and that was cool for that time. One of the things that I didn't like about it, but I didn't know that I didn't like about it, and I'll talk to you about it afterwards. It didn't have a lock for the blade, so you could very easily hurt yourself. So you had to be careful on how to deploy, fold, extract, unfold, and also there was no locking mechanism for the needle nose plier, but it had a real tight edge fit here, but again, it was kind of good for that time. But as you'll see now with the new one, it's even better. So you had this little device here, kind of a lever that you can attach some type of a cord to make sure you didn't lose it. I was down in the Keys and I lost my Leatherman that way. So after that, after that experience, I changed out and put a 50-pound filament on this to make sure that it didn't go anywhere. So that was then, and it came with a nice little pouch. The nice thing about it, it's nice and thin and lightweight, stainless steel. I mean, this thing has been around everywhere, and it's still showing pretty good. So it's going to go into one of my packs. To get to changing out some of the items on here, you just use a quarter inch nut, and you can actually then take these off, and actually this is the one, quarter inch, and either tighten it or loosen it and change out some of the items on this power tool. So like I said, I had a gift card that my brother-in-law gave me for Christmas, and I decided to go out and get a new one. So this was then, as you can see here, and this is the new device that I picked up at Lowe's, and as you can see, it's got a heck of a lot more items on it, and I'll go into it. I decided to show it to you all unfurled here, so you can actually, so we can actually see the whole device, and then I'll show you how it looks compact. But let me go over some of the items. I'll talk about these. These are basically covers. Okay, this is the Powerlock V-Cut multi-tool device. Let me zoom out a little bit. And it has a lot more features. Primarily, the biggest feature on this device is going to be this part here. This is the compound mechanism that S.O.G has incorporated and patented and on these devices, which makes it head above heels of any other device that's out there. Because basically it gives you, for every 1 pound of pressure that you put on it, it gives you 2 pounds of pressure or power at this end here. And I'll go into some of the benefits of that. But we have a wire cutter. I don't know what you would call this section here. I guess you could use it for nuts, and this is for finer work here. It has a serrated double tooth serration, and this thing is very sharp, and I don't know if you can see it there. Okay, but it's a double tooth. You have an auger here, you have a large screwdriver, Phillips head, a can opener, and a file, coarse and fine. And so that all goes in there. The nice thing about this device is that once you decide which piece to use, you put the covers, you lay the cover back on. Again, you still have to be very careful, but it has a lock. Once you decide that you want to use that, then to release the lock, you press this and you're back. Open up the cover, fold it back, and you're done. The same with this side, obviously, but let me go over some of the you have a serrated blade, a straight blade with serration, and again this is sharp enough that it's actually cutting hair off my arm here. I know I got a lot of hair to cut, but this thing is very sharp. You can see the hairs on there. You have a bottle opener with a medium size. You have a V-cut, which is what this model is called. It's a Powerlock with a V-cutter. And this is to cut seat belts, serration. It's not serration, but to cut seat belts, webbing, nylon webbing, rope, anything like that, paracord, and it's not replaceable. But it's basically a razor blade in there. Okay. The neatest feature on this one that I think is a nut driver. This little guy here is used with 1/4-inch ratchet nuts. Okay, and it locks on the straight, and it also, once you release it, it'll also lock. It's supposed to. Yeah, it locks also in this angle as well. Or you can use it this way or that way. That's the only one that actually locks in that position. So I thought that was pretty neat too. Now, supposedly this is to be used by technicians, but I brought a couple things that to give you an example how this thing works. And we got some wire here that we're just going to cut, and that was sweet. Nice smooth action. And that's another thing. On other ones that I've had, Leatherman, and maybe not this one because this is kind of different, when you open it up, it opens up smoothly. Okay, you don't get the plier that are here swinging out left or right, it comes out equally. And that's another thing that you have on this one, is that you have a ruler also that measures 9 inches. 9 inches, and also it has centimeters as well for measuring lengths of things. So you want to cut a wire that's 4 inches wide, you don't have to guess at it, you can just figure it out right here. It has crimping elements here, okay, and I'm just going to use, I don't know if you can see it there, it's got 2 sizes, larger one and a smaller one. So I'm just going to throw this guy in there, and I do a lot of crimping, a lot of electrical work. Once you have a motorhome and different devices, and I've had a lot of experience in soldering in my previous life, but this is a nice crimper right here, and that's all you need. And that's, you can't see it, but trust me, it is completely fully crimped and very nice. Now these are other little crimping caps which are used as well, and I'm just going to throw that in there, and let's see how that works. I haven't used it already before, but let's see how this works. It might not work too well because, no, okay, I'll use this smaller one. All right. That's perfect, perfect. That's cool. So again, wanted to show this. I picked this up. The list price on this is $114. If you go to the website, S.O.G website, you'll see it. Here's the compound mechanism. I mean, it is pretty sweet. But like I said, it's list for $114, and at Lowe's I picked it up for $59. So you can actually get this in black oxide, and for about maybe $10 more, or $10. I don't know. People like the black because they say that it looks tactical. Stainless steel. This has worked for me, and it's pretty cool. You can also change out devices. The case that this came with is pretty cool. It's got a belt clip, and since you can actually trade out the components on this, I picked out a little hex wrench, which actually fits into each one of these screws here, or nuts, heck nut screws, and you can actually either tighten it, change them out, and so forth and so on. But for 59 bucks, I'm telling you, this thing is sweet, and I hope that you get an opportunity to grab not one, but a couple. I'm planning on getting other one that's power assist, and I think from the what I've seen on the internet, it's about maybe 60 bucks or maybe 65 bucks. I'm going to get myself another one of these and put them in my car, my truck, in my first aid kit, so forth and so on. So I hope you enjoy it.